All right, so as you can see, we are here bright and early at Il Duomo in Florence with basically the dog walkers, the window washers, the delivery man, and people trying to get photos with no one else in the background.
They're probably
Right
a little
and
bit too
early.
late.
Yeah.
They're a little bit too late right now.
But of course, this is
The Handbag Husband.
the Handbag Husband. Yay! Now, obviously being up this early and being pretty, frankly, jet lagged, it does give us an opportunity, though, as we are cruising through Europe and going to the various boutiques at Hermes, to kind of think about what it means to really enjoy and appreciate and opine after Hermes and the Quota bags and the non-Quota bags, the Quimbies, the non-Quimbies, and just even some of the other kind of hard to get Quota items that are out there that are not necessarily bags. But it gives us an opportunity to kind of reflect on what it means to be a handbag husband and where we are in the process of our little quest to try to collect as many of the bags as we can, or even some of the items as we can. So I think that's really what we want to talk about today, is how our perspective has changed and evolved as we've come to Europe and got some more time to think about it and some more experience, and just kind of how we feel about that. Now, of course, if you like these videos, if you like the conversation, if you like the bag candy, and we are going to have tons of bag candy.
We already seen many bag candy.
There's going to be a lot more to come. But if you like all that stuff, if you like the general milieu, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really does help the channel to grow, and we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
But also because you get notifications when our newest videos come out. Or now, let's get down to the conversation. So first things first, let's talk about handbag husbands overall, because I think that it's really not a new concept. Maybe we're just putting a name to it, but there's always been handbag husbands. But we're kind of wondering and actually noticing, what are the difference between handbag husbands here and handbag husbands back home?
I guess I'm noticing them more here.
Yeah.
I think it's more like, okay. I think most of the married couple, when you go on a vacation, is more of the wife wants to go on the vacation.
Yeah.
So the wife is the one who arranging all the itinerary. I know at least
in our
at
situation,
least
it's
for me,
yeah,
right?
for us.
So AKA that, okay, I know that, oh, today I'm gonna go to visit this store, today we're gonna eat this, meaning that, okay, the husband, you coming with me to go to the Hermes store, so you can see, so you will see them more.
Yeah. I think from what I've noticed, even just like on this trip, when we went to the Hermes in LAX,
Yeah.
the husband who was with the wife who was buying the shoes, he was just kind of like checking his watch on his phone or whatever, doing stuff on his phone and not really paying attention. But here, while we were in Florence, for example, we were in Napoli, no more in Florence, there was that one couple where it seems like the handbag husband who was with them was actually more engaged.
Oh, he's the first in line.
Yeah, he was the first one in line.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a situation where, the wife dragged him along. It's almost like he came along to be supportive and to be a second pair of eyes and even to be kind of a second pair of mouth, right? To be able to talk and interact with the SA in a way that maybe you couldn't if it was just one single person. So I think one of the big differences here is that the husbands are more engaged. They're more devoted and they're more engaged in it. And I think that I think also that when Americans or foreigners are here, which is the majority of the handbag husbands that we've seen, we haven't seen, we saw one Italian guy too. He had the Gigili, the one that they offered me in LAX. They said they didn't have an LAX with the leather H on it instead of a metal piece.
Yeah.
It looked good. I want to talk to him, but I don't speak his language, so I just had to admire, giving a knowing nod, So yeah, I think overall the handbag husbands here are more engaged, and it might be in the same way that we have extra time, they also have extra time to go with their wife and just kind of enjoy the experience instead of like, I got to be at a meeting and I got to do this, I got to pick up the kids and get the laundry and all that kind of stuff done. So.
You get the laundry, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that the handbag husbands who are from outside of Italy who are here are more engaged, and the handbag husbands who are here from Italy are like super engaged. Like they drag their wives with them to the boutique. So. All right, so the next one that we want to talk about is just so far, and we're about halfway through, and we're done with our Italian leg of it, is what are people buying in the boutiques, right? What are they actually buying?
I'm noticing cosmetics and shoes. That's like the most popular one. And you can see it like when they're walking out from the stores.
Because they have the little bags.
Yeah, little bag,
Little bags.
What else are they buying? jewelry is not a popular department.
No, it's almost always a ghost town in the jewelry side of the this boutique.
There are some scarves, people.
Yeah, lots of
Lots
scarves.
of scarves. I think more of shoes.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it's because in their home country they don't have like maybe the sizings are more harder to find.
Ooh, yeah.
I guess that for example, the Asian country might have a smaller sizes,
Mhm.
and you have big feet, you just basically outlaw.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my guess. Not so much of plates and what's it called, tableware.
Yeah. Well, of course, it would be hard to transport, right?
Yeah.
And the majority of people are foreigners, right? They're not Italians that
Yeah.
we see,
We've
except for
seen the
that one
big-
guy. Yeah.
Was it the soup, whatever thingy for the?
Yeah, like a chafing dish or something, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
quite large.
We were like, I want that, but like, how am I
Yeah.
gonna get it back home?
And it's Cheval d'Orient.
Yes.
Yeah. I think things that I noticed people buying, of course, we did get to see some people buy some Quota bags. So, I mean, that's a given.
That's
right? People,
no-brainer, yeah.
people come out here and they want Quota bags. And, you know, we also saw a decent amount of people get rejected from Quota bags. And I think that's a really interesting experience in the boutique, just like listening to that conversation where, you know, someone's like, you know, that they like built themselves up, and we're in the same boat, right? We built ourselves up to get to the boutique, and like real quick on, they don't have the relationship, or they don't have the spend, or they don't have all that kind of stuff, or they're just kind of shooting their shot, and the rep's like, or the SA is just like, no, sorry, we don't have any bags.
Yeah.
Of course, it does make you feel a little guilty when you're like, you're like, don't look over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other things they're buying, obviously they're buying shoes, they're buying the scarves. We saw a lot of people buy scarves. So small like leather goods too. I think that people also buy maybe like some of the small like ceramics and things like that, but mostly it's just kind of scarves. And that for a price point, that totally makes sense, right?
Scarf and shoes.
Yeah, they're easy to transport, they're nice, you can get them for your family and as gifts, so that totally makes sense. But of course there are people getting the Quota bags. Do we see anyone get a non-Quota bag though?
I want to say no.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously people were buying them, but we didn't see them, and we got offered the Silk City, so you know that's something. All right, so the next question is sort of along the same lines, but different in the sense of what are the bag specs that we actually see in the wild? Because we've been doing a fair amount of bag sniping, I guess. I don't know what you call it, bag spotting.
And walking.
Yeah, and walking. And you see some here and there for sure, especially when you get near that Hermès area up here in Florence. People
Like
just,
a shopping street. I guess.
yeah, it's like a rodeo drive, right? It is like a nice street. So people really do flaunt their bags, but I think we noticed that the bags here are very different than what we usually see in the wild back home in LA.
I mean, I guess the ratio of Kelly versus Birkin, I would want to say is about the same.
Yeah, it's about 50-50.
But I have noticed the Birkin color is way more colorful.
Yeah.
It's like bright red, bright green, or like purple. So
Yeah.
rather than just like, oh, I want like go on gold.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Change of scenery.
Yeah,
You know?
back home we tend to see gold on gold, we see black, of course. I've seen some gray and some like purple, except for when you get to Vegas, then it gets a little wild sometimes.
Yeah.
But in LA, it seems to be a little more earth tones colors. And again, I think a lot of those folks are using these bags as day-to-day bags, and they're not using them on their trips or bringing them out just for special occasions.
Sure.
And I don't know if these folks, I mean, I guess I would say the folks here tend to be a little more colorful anyways, like
Yeah.
long, like red, like jackets and things like that, which,
Yeah.
it would go along with, the brighter color bags and brighter color personality.
Yeah.
And I sort of wonder if it's because of like the kind of, I'm not going to say drabness, but the drabness of the environment around makes them want to like feel more
Or maybe they're
standout-ish.
on they're on a different social media outlet.
Yeah,
You
the
see what I'm
Italian one isn't as
it
good
might
or
not be a
whatever.
trend of
Also,
getting-
the bags here tend to be bigger.
yeah.
Right, so the bags we've seen out in the wild tend to be bigger, even for the
local.
even for younger generation
Yeah.
locals. They seem to still be getting like the larger Kellys and the larger Birkins,
Yeah.
rather than maybe in Asia or in the U.S. where
But
it's
we
really
have seen-
shrinking
we
down.
have seen like some Asian folks that wait in line. They have a small.
Yeah, the folks who bring their bags
like
are pretty
Kelly
small.
Machette,
Yeah.
Maybe Kelly. We've seen
Constance, we
those.
saw Constance. I don't know if we got video of it, but we saw one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the interesting thing is that there's just a definite
The
different
trend is a little bit
preference
different,
for the bags. And that 50-50 Kelly Birkin ratio is way different than home where it's like maybe 60-40 or something like
But when we
that.
talk to SA,
Yeah.
everyone's still saying like, oh, the smaller bag is still
Yeah. It's in
highly-
demand.
Is in like yeah.
Yeah. But that's very different than the people we see walking around who are locals.
Yeah.
Presumably locals. All right, next up, do, and of course, I want to pat myself. Let me pat myself on the back because obviously, success. Nothing succeeds like success. But does having a handbag husband, so a husband who's involved and wants to participate and is trying to help, trying to help as much as possible, does it actually improve your chances? Does it actually help to get a Quota bag?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, of course. Again, let me pat myself on the back a little
Sure,
bit.
sure, sure.
But I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, first, probably, I would think that it's kind of like show that you are not a reseller. I mean, obviously you can fake being married and it's like, oh, this is my husband. We resell together.
It's a very elaborate ruse.
I think that might be, obviously like the same thing with all the luxury brands.
Yeah.
The brand don't want any like
Yeah.
resellers, right? The second probably show that this family unit is in deep.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, it's not like they need to go to find it. They don't need to go to another person to get the approval to get the bag. Like, we're both here.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like, oh, I gotta go ask my husband or I gotta go ask my wife.
Sure.
Right? Like, it's like, we're here, we're ready to go.
I think so.
Yeah. Also, as a practical matter, someone actually to carry the bags, right? Once you get them, or to carry around all the things that you need to do it, especially when you're international. I think that's a big advantage. And also for us, like someone to hype you up, right? before the visit, we go to the boutique. Sometimes, I think you need a little like, you're smart, you're beautiful, and we're gonna get a bag. You need that like cheerleader to kind of to not realize that, or to not be dragged into almost like a depression, realizing that, oh, the likelihood of getting a bag is very small, right?
I think it's more, I guess, having another set of brain and eyes and hands and make sure that, okay, I'm not just rationally make irrational decisions in the store. In this store, it's very stressful.
Why?
I don't know. I guess I know they shop everything online. And now you have a person, and then they keep spinning you around.
Yeah.
And like, oh, let me go get it. Let me go grab it.
I mean, that of course is the other practical matter, is that you have two people
Correct.
versus one. So a one-on-one in a boutique, you're at an absolute disadvantage, right? Like the SA, they think faster, they know all the stuff, they've been through the process, they've been through the routine so many times, that they know exactly how to get things going. But with two people, at least you can kind of
bounce otherwise you're gonna have like these thoughts in your head.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm due.
Because you're like doing and thinking at the same time, and that's really hard. But if I'm like rodeo clowning, you can be like thinking about what you want to ask and the perspective, and vice versa, right? It gives ourselves a little bit of time, which gives you a little bit more options of how you want to guide the boutique appointment versus the SAs taking you along the course that they want to take you on.
I think so.
What was that?
Kelly.
So of course, again, as a moment of introspectiveness, after getting a Quota bag, getting offered one and actually buying it, it comes down to the question is it worth it, right? How does it feel after you finally get the bag that we've been dreaming about for the last 3 months, that we've been planning to get something like the Birkin that we got? How does that feel? Does it feel worth it?
It feels, I guess, not empty-handed.
Yes.
Because I guess normally I don't know. I think it feels okay. It feels good, but it's not like the best, because this is not like the most wanted bag that I really want. But this is just like, I want this bag.
Yeah.
Just really to use it. Does it make sense at all?
Yeah, it feels like a nice success. Like we won a battle, right?
Yeah.
But it's not the war for sure, and we haven't reached bag nirvana for sure, 100%. But it's a nice feeling of, hey, we successfully done it. I love it when a plan goes through, right?
Yeah. It's just more of like, okay, this bag obviously it's not like the most spectacular spec of the bag, but it's something that I wanted, so I can really use it.
And it's really going to fit a nice niche that we've had kind of a hole in the collection of bags that are super usable.
Correct.
Right? Because we have bags that are not usable.
Correct.
And they're good for occasions, but
yeah. So I think it's more of checkbox. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, it feels like a checkpoint for me, right? Like a save point in the game.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, we've made it to this
Cover the
level. We
base,
can't get.
cover the base on this so I can, you know, because this bag is not that delicate,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that I will really like I'll probably be using a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good.
So the next one, and probably the last one I want to talk about, is a cautionary tale about Quota bags, because right now we are kind of living high, feeling good about getting a Quota bag, getting the Birkin. But the thing is,
We are doing an unboxing, so
Yeah.
if you haven't watched that one,
yeah, well, we'll put a link for the unboxing for it as well. And success is a great deodorant, right? But it almost helps us to forget the fact that how many times we've gone out and tried to do this and failed, right? And just come back basically empty-handed, and how bad that feels. And it's essentially how it could ruin somebody's trip throughout the entire process. So if you had been hyping it up this whole time, like, oh, we're gonna go here, we're gonna get this, it's gonna be good. I got all the things planned out, I got the timetables planned out, we know which ones we're gonna go to, and you show up and then you don't get it, and we saw that. We saw multiple people who had been waiting in line, and we've experienced it as well.
yeah.
If you build the whole trip around it, it can really cause problems for the rest of the trip, because this trip was nice, and the affogatos were good, and the espresso was good, and the food was amazing, but it would have been just that much better had we actually gotten a Quota bag offered to us. So there's a cautionary tales that you can't build the whole trip around it, because if you do, then it just, if you get it, then it's such a high, but if you don't get it, it's just such a low, and that's just not the way of life.
Yeah, because the whole purpose is your vacation,
Yeah.
You're supposed to be on vacation, not
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hunt for Hermes. Of course, if you do it for a living, then sure.
Yeah. All right, so that was just kind of our random thoughts while we're out here. It looks like things are starting to get a little busier. Things are moving around, and we got to get through the rest of our day. But you know what? If you like these videos, if you like the conversation, if you like the bag footage, and there's going to be so much good bag footage. If you like that stuff, if you like the general milieu, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because one, it does really help the channel grow, and we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
But also because you get notifications when our newest videos come out. So with that, I think we're gonna get on with the rest of the day, and ciao.
Don't have that much.
Yeah.
It's the Lance and Bonnie.
Nothing.
Nothing on that one. You understand what I'm saying, no?
Oh, it's a kimono.
Sorry, not quite yet.